Hello, Libra. Welcome to October 2022. This is a month where you're going to be able to reset some issues regarding love, regarding your home, regarding real estate and property, and actually get a sense of life is moving for you, not against you, starting especially around October the 11th. Let me tell you all about why all of this is true. But before we begin, a little bit about me. My name is Lori Lothian, especially if you're new here. My name is Lori Lothian, and I use the tools of Hellenistic and Babylonian astrology to decipher the sky code so that you can get a bit of a hint about what might be happening in your life, depending on your rising sign. Most accurate, sun and moon secondarily. Second of all, order of business. I am almost at 10,000 subscribers as I record this on September 20th. I'm about 500 away. Would you help me get there? Because I have a contest that goes till October 30th. So I want to vault over the 10,000 mark. And if you subscribe to my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, weekly swig of astrology news, or make a comment on my videos during the month of October, you are entered into the draw, and also like and subscribe. That will be happening on Halloween. And I'm going to give away 10 different prizes, free readings, half price readings, giveaway courses, a bunch of stuff. Just get into the draw. Why not? You might win. Okay, let's get going and talk about your month of October. First of all, October is a relief for everyone. And that's because my hair is so bad today. That's because three planets are going direct. And one of these planets in particular, Mercury, really impacts how you are going to feel in October compared to how you have felt in September. So the three planets going direct in the month of October, in the order of their movement direct, will be Mercury, Pluto, and later on Saturn. Saturn also affects you positively and powerfully when he goes direct. So let's talk about the sense of new momentum and where it shows up. And your ruler Venus is doing something very special for you. Some rare 200-year event is happening in the house of your health, your body, and your identity on the third week of October. I can't stress enough how big this month is for you, Libra rising people. Sun and moon secondarily. So let's address this whole Mercury story to begin with, because he is the first guy to make some significant shifts going on in the sky that impact you. So first of all, Mercury is going to move into direct motion on October the 2nd, which is a good thing for the world. He's going to head direct in his own home sign of Virgo. For you, Virgo is your 12th house of backroom deals and negotiations, trips to foreign lands and foreign faraway shores, things to do with your karma, and maybe things to do with your past lives, self-undoing, self-sabotaging strategies, behaviors, and habits. The way you basically drink too much wine, smoke too much dope, or whatever you do to not serve your best good. So he's going to give you a bit of a heads up as he goes direct October 2nd to get you to get forward momentum in that area of your sky. So look for that coming up October the 2nd as that shift happens. But more importantly for you guys, he's going to enter Libra around the 11th, 10th, 11th, depending where you live in the world, in the sign of Libra. When he goes there, October 10th or 11th, you're going to get a forward moving Mercury working on your behalf. Now, it's really important to know that he already was in your sign, right? It's not the first time he's been here. He was in the first 8 degrees of Libra before he retrograded out of there. And technically, those dates for you in particular are quite significant. So for you guys, go back to August 26th when Mercury went into Libra, and he was there until September 23rd, although part of that was direct motion in the first 8 degrees and some of it was retrograde. So around the 9th and 10th of September, he started to go back over old ground. Nonetheless, that whole first 8 degrees of the sign of Libra is particularly important for you Libra rising, who are in that first 10 degrees of Libra, or your sun and moon is within the first 10 degrees of Libra. You know, it's like Mercury went through some kind of territory about your health, about your sense of self, about your focus on your work, your significant other, where you live, home and real estate, like the lens by which you see the critical axes of your chart. And then he went back, and around September 9th said, we have to go back over some old ground. He retrograded, you know, and then around the 26th of September, he kind of left that part of your sky to go back into the backroom deals, the backroom negotiations, and the part of your sky that I mentioned has something to do with how you might undo yourself. So, you know, around September 23rd, that story of the first house ended. And most important for you guys is it's back again. And this is a return to something you were doing earlier on, right? Around, you know, August 26th to September 23rd. If you can go back and look at your life then, what was happening, then you're going to know that starting around the 10th of October, 11th of October, as Mercury goes into your first house again, and will be there till the end of October, till October 30th, that you're going to make momentum and propulsion and gains and directionality and decisions and make messages and communicate and write and speak and negotiate whatever you need to do, whatever it is that you're up to regarding what you're having to pick up the pieces from that time in August and September already. So just keep that in mind. It's momentum. It feels good to have Mercury in your air sign moving forward with great pizzazz, right? It feels good. Next of all, and the other thing I want to talk about is I'm going to jump around a bit, but I want to stay on with the retrograde planets moving forward, because Saturn is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. When he moves direct, it's going to feel really good for you, because that is a planet in a flowing, harmonious, lucky trine to your body, your health, and your sense of identity. Saturn has been retrograding for several months, and now he's finally going to move forward. Now, this is going to feel like freaking relief. Back on June the 4th, Saturn stationed retrograde. And this is where things begin to slow down in your life, where you have your fun, your joy, your play, your pleasure, your creativity, your inspiration. You know, when this Saturn's making you look at sober and realistic ways to be joyful, have fun, you may be working hard to find the outlets for some sense of inspiration and enthusiasm in your life. However, as he gets through this part of your chart, he's also teaching you lessons, right? He's telling you like what to get rid of because it's no longer enjoyable. So as he was retrograding all the way since June, it's definitely a time now where get ready for October 22nd, when he turns direct and will be direct for the rest of October and into the new year in the house of your fifth house of joy and play and pleasure. This can definitely feel like a weight of responsibility that has been burdensome around your life, where you don't just feel like you're on a grind of some sort, where you don't know where your joy spark is. Now, if you have your own business, like I do, this is an uplift for the business people. The fifth house is your independent enterprise for being the boss of your own company or something like that. Your children who've been burdensome or difficult, or have come back into your life and, you know, made you feel that way in some way, this is lightening up there. And also your love life. You know, the fifth house is your love life. And finally, that's going to pick up as well. Or if it's it's going to stop being stagnant, basically. Okay. So you might have had to go back and go over some old ground about love, lovability. Maybe some old love stories have come back in the past since June, and they may be karmic and you had to readdress them. Now you're moving forward. Maybe or maybe not with that old love story person. Maybe something new could come your way. Likely with Saturn, not only karmic, but somebody older than you. So this is a new story coming up in October around the 22nd. Lastly, Pluto will go to direct as well. We're all looking forward to that. Motion of Pluto turning around, and that's happening early in the month for you guys, October the 8th. Now Pluto's in Capricorn, and because you're a Libra, this is angular to your sky. It's in your fourth house. You may have gone over the last several months with Pluto in retrogradation into a period of stall or stuck around things to do, or difficulty, or feeling of really intense work around home, things in your home, around your home, about your home, because of your home. And Pluto basically, since the end of April, has been going through that backtrack in your fourth house. Sometimes it's like renegotiating your relationship to your mom and going deeper into that relationship to your family of origin or the ancestors, or reassessing that stuff. But hey, now that Pluto's going to go direct on October the 8th, that kind of lightens up and you get momentum. Now, Pluto was not going to be in your fourth house by the time we get to 2024, he's leaving. And so this is the end of it. You're coming to the tail end of a much longer story regarding fourth house matters that started back in 2008. Pluto here can dig up family secrets. Pluto can reveal the wealth of something that is connected to your family of origin, or legacy wealth revelations, or things like that. So look forward to the October 8th movement of Pluto forward. And lastly, it's good for real estate. You want to buy a property, sell a property, renovate a property, do something with real estate and property. After October the 8th, all systems go. You can start getting momentum on that thanks to Pluto. Now, Libra, your ruler is Venus, right? Libra rising and Taurus rising and sun and moon have a strong relationship to the planet Venus. And Venus is doing a couple of extraordinary things in the month of October. Number one, she's going to meet up in the sky, or like tango in the sky with Pluto. We just talked about that Pluto, right? The guy in the fourth house. She will square him, which is a bit of a conflictual energy. but she will square him on October the 19th. And this is a Venus, in the sign of you. She'll have moved into Libra by this time. And she's like, with Pluto, she's making a point of some sort. And the point could be something that you value, that you think is of your greatest desire. Let's use the word desire. There's something that you desire, that you want, that's of great value to you, that you're going to want to make a statement, stand, or directional shift toward. And then Pluto in the fourth house is that sense of something like a powerful force that must be dealt with in order to move forward. Now, again, it could be about real estate, buying and selling, leasing, sharing, changing. It could be about your mom. It could be about your ancestors. It could be about your childhood. It could be about your homeland, if you're estranged from your homeland. But you're coming up to this point of Venus wanting to have that conversation, which she does about once a year. But it's particularly powerful for you this year because shortly after that, on the 22nd of October, she's going to go into the heart of the sun. Oh, sorry, I have to rephrase that date. She goes into the heart of the sun on October 22nd. It is the same day that Saturn will station direct. And as she goes into the heart of the sun, she's going to have a conversation called as a Cazimi or star point at 29 degrees of Libra, in a way that she hasn't done for 200 years for the entire world. So it's a very big deal. Now, Libra in your first house is about you having discernment, balance, harmony, flow, ease, and peace within yourself, your body, your health, you're relating to others. Libras tend to have a lack of balance often and have a hard time finding the balance. And sometimes you give away everything rather than have conflict, right? Say yes when you mean no. So all of a sudden you've got this energy of Venus, a benefic planet, the Lord of you, making her first star point in a couple hundred years in the house of you at 29 Libra. This is going to be a story that emerges over time. She's invisible until about the 5th, 6th of December. So very likely you won't get the full Monty of what this is about or see the visible results of this, but it certainly can be an improvement of your beauty, your popularity, your likability, your health, and an up level in your own self-worth and self-value and your own desires. And then by the time you get to next August, she will have shown you the full hand of all the things she wants to do to improve you, your life, and your relationship to life itself. Okay. And then this is a 4-year promise. It doesn't really come to its wind down to our next star point in Scorpio in 2026 at the end of the year. So keep all of that in mind. It's a bigger picture story, but it's a big deal for you, Libra. So I'm excited for you. Now I'm looking at my big map on my window here of other stories to tell you. Full moon in Aries is happening on October the 9th at 16 degrees of Aries. You planted seeds in this part of your sky back in March. There was a full moon, new moon there in the month of March, I think it was March 2nd, first 2 weeks of March. What was going on in 2022 regarding significant love relationships, business partnerships, your relationship to your clients, your audience, the people you serve as a marketplace for your career. What were you up to back then? Because that story is coming to fullness now. So it could be about relating, like one-on-one significant others, or your business alliances, but now it's full and it's fruiting and it's like a harvest energy, and maybe even a completion. So something is completing in the house of significant other people in your life. Full moons can be revealing. There may be some big reveal about somebody in your life, some new way they disclose something about themselves, or you discover something about them. The other thing I'd say is that because for you Libras, with your sun, moon, or rising between, let's say 10 degrees and 18 degrees of Libra, this is a full moon that you really feel quite strongly. So, it's really going to activate your ascendant or your sun and moon quite intensely. Again, rising sign most accurate. Legal contracts are the 7th house, and a full moon here can bring a legal vow, an oath, and a contract that you will sign or be involved in. Also, in the 2 weeks that follow the October 9th, Aries new full moon. Also, Mars will square Neptune on October 10th. He'll square Neptune again on November 20th, and he'll square Neptune again next March. Why am I bringing this up? 3-part story, because it's happening this month, and it's worth noting it is a beginning of a 3-part narrative. Mars is going to be moving through Gemini from August 30th, August 20th. He's already there till the third week of next March, a very rare long transit. And as Mars is going through this part of your sky, the ninth house of legal affairs, courts, visas, foreign lands, book publishing, keywords, international, faith and religion and wisdom, higher learning. There's a lot of your focus is going to be there over the next several months. But as he's going through this square to Neptune, there's this period, right, coming up this October 10th to 12th, where you're coming to terms with some kind of conflict or difficulty between situations with your health that have been nebulous or foggy, or with your coworkers or your work routines, or even with debt that you owe money for. And Mars here can bring you agreements legally that work in your behalf, favorable outcomes in court cases, regarding debt and all of that, work situations, health outcomes. Mars likes to travel. When he's going through the ninth house, he's good for adventure. And yet you may want to take some adventure. You may want to go off on a soothing spiritual retreat energy with that Neptune, and something's blocking your way, October 10th to the 12th. It may be not a good time to try to make it happen. Let that go, because with Neptune here, you know, see, Mars can also cut away illusions too. So Mars may cut away an illusion or delusion or misperception about a colleague, a coworker, about something to do with your health, and that kind of thing as well. But it would not be a good time to try to force a trip, because things will not be what they seem. So don't buy a ticket during October 10th through the 12th, or plan it, wait till that time frame has passed. If I were you, I would do that. Next. There's going to be an eclipse. I'm going to have a whole video on that. That's happening October the 25th. It's a big deal. It's part of a longer narrative of eclipses through the Scorpio and the Taurus axis. Now, Scorpio in your chart is a second house, money house. And so the Scorpio eclipse at 2 degrees of Scorpio conjunct Venus, the goddess of money, in a money house is kind of an interesting combination. Venus is out of her dignity, out of her happy place in Taurus. She's in exile, but she's still a money goddess. So she's going to show you an opportunity around financial gain sometime in the literally the 6 months after the November 2nd eclipse. However, no, sorry, the October 25th eclipse. However, I tend to see within a week before and 2 weeks after the kernel of what this is about. You'll probably have signs, signals, and clues as to what's unfolding in the months that follow from that new moon eclipse. And this is a new beginning. And back in May last year, May of 22, mid-May, there was a full moon eclipse there. So that was ending as something to do with work, wages, earnings, and possessions, value, self-value. This is now the new beginning. So are you closing some doors around earnings, strategies, and ways of making money? You've known since May that was going to happen. And now you've seen new beginnings and new opportunities for a lot of you Libras financially regarding things to do with ways of making money. All right. Lastly, there's Jupiter retrograding into Pisces, which is going to happen on the 28th of October, and he will be in Pisces till December 20th. The retrogradation at the end of the month enters into your house of health. He may improve your health because he was working on your health and health protocols and stuff all the way through the end of December 2021 to May 10th, 2022, and also in like May, June, July 2021 as well. So this is his last pass in the house of sickness. He tends to find solutions and lucky ways to resolve ongoing health challenges. He also can bless you with debt relief, credit card debts, you know, any mortgage debts, the way you want to eliminate debt. Look for that beginning October 28th to December 20th, with the most momentum around the 24th of November, because that's when he's going to be going direct. All right, but it begins at October 28th. And last but not least, Mars on October 30th begins to station in his movement retrograde until January the 12th in your ninth house. This often looks like going to take a trip to a foreign land that you've been to before. It's that simple. Or going back over an old court case that you've done before, or revising a book that was published and redoing it, or working on revisions for your agent for a book you're publishing, or going back to school, or making moves towards some kind of learning you've done before. He's going back over old ground in the ninth house. Thanks, Libra, for listening. A big month for you ahead. Don't forget, if you want to learn astrology, my Sky Reader course, 8 weeks long, live, interactive Facebook group. It's going to happen starting on October 15th. And if you catch this video before October 15th, jump aboard. There is a wait list as I record on September 20th with early bird pricing. That wait list with the early bird pricing is, and the cart is open for the early bird people. It's going to close around October 2nd, and then it's going to be normal pricing for the general public. So if you're really interested in this, or at least less of a discount than the early bird discount, if you're interested, check out the description box below. The course description is there, as well as the way to get on the wait list or the discount code list. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Like, subscribe, share my videos, comment, enter my contest, all the good stuff. Ciao, ciao.